Is this the pet adoption trend that is fueling your business?
Well, thanks for having me again, Sarah. It's great to be back this quarter. Yeah, it was a very strong quarter for us. We certainly beat expectations. You said it was 15% on the top line, but that was driven by 20% growth in our pet care business globally. And I think like everyone in America, there's certainly 3 new dogs on my block. So it is driving that. But I think really what's fundamental to the 20% growth in the quarter is not necessarily the new pet adoptions, but the increased spend per visit we're seeing in the U.S. and around the world. The pet care visits are about flat over 2019, but the spend per visit is up more than 10%. So that's more people at home watching their dogs, noticing itchiness, pain, and bringing those dogs to the clinic and getting diagnostic tests and buying more of our innovative products such as Simparica Trio and Apoquel. So I think those are the things. We'll know it's a permanent trend, Sarah, if you and Wilfred end up getting a dog by the end of this year.
No, I can't even take care of 2 kids. There's no way I can have a dog. But I did learn from your results that atopic dermatitis is a very common thing in pets. How do you think about the longevity of this trend, though, Kristen? Because obviously, if you buy a pet, it's for the long term, and you have to spend on that pet. So how sustainable are these kind of numbers?
We think there is sustainability in the pet care numbers because as more dogs and cats become part of families, they get an integral role in that family. And I don't think just because people start going back to work a few days a week that trend's really going to stop. I mean, dogs live a long life and they have an important role. I mean, for many of us after the crazy week we've been dealing with, going home to the comfort of a pet who's always happy to see you is something that I don't think most people will give up. So I think also, if you look at the trends and who's really adopting pets more and more, millennials and younger generations who are really well vested in the wellness of their pets. So we do see this as a trend that's going to continue for years to come.
Kristen, have there been any indications of COVID with pets?
There have been very few isolated cases in the U.S. and around the world. It is possible. It is very rare. Most of these pets, few dogs, I think a few dogs and a few cats across the entire U.S. So it's possible, but it's been very rare in the U.S.
I want to talk about the other half of your business, which is livestock, and also did better than expected, but I think is off still the growth years. What is that tied to? Is that restaurants not buying as much meat or on the flip side, people eating at home more? How should we be tracking those results and what they tell us about the broader environment?
Sure. We did have a really strong performance in the quarter of 9%, but we do not think that's indicative of what you'll see in Q4 or early next year, where we think it's going to take a while for the livestock recovery across the globe. And really, that's exactly what you were saying, Sarah. It's really with regards to more people dining in than dining out, less travel, less tourism. If you're a producer right now, you're not thinking expand supply, given that the demand is down. So I do think we need a recovery there of a little more certainty around demand. But we do feel strongly that livestock growth, still remains strong over a medium to long term. The macro trends that drive that of, a larger middle class, eating more protein, drinking more milk will continue. So, in the medium to long term, we think that remains in the 4 to 6% as you've seen over time. But we do think it's going to take a little while for the recovery here from COVID for sure.
Kristen Peck, great to get color on those results. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.